Hello students, today we are going to discuss another important topic of grammar, that is modals. Let's start the topic.
What is a modal? It is the definition. A modal is an auxiliary verb. It is a category of verb. Auxiliary verb used to express the mood of another verb or the mode of action denoted by the main verb. So it is auxiliary, it is going to help the main verb to express the mood in a sentence. Yes, main verb is do. And if you use modal can, it shows the capability. It shows the ability. I can do this. Can I do this? It is seeking permission also sometimes. So modal is a kind of helping verb which helps the main verb to express the mood if there is any mood. So this should be in mind. Next slide. So modals include the auxiliary verbs. I have written few of them. Shall, will, the major ones. Shall, will, should, would, can, could, may, might, must, ought, need, dare. You can say need is a modal. Yes, sometimes it helps us. Okay. Let's move to the next slide. Modals express such ideas: ability or capacity, probability or possibility, permission, command, compulsion, duty, obligation, propriety. Okay, if I ask, what do you understand by command? Command is
Order.
anyone? Order.
Order.
Compulsion is
Necessary.
necessary. Yeah. Your duty sometimes comes under compulsion.
Restriction.
Obligation is restriction. And propriety, find out the meaning of obligation and propriety on Google and tell me immediately.
Ma'am, propriety मतलब rules, behaviors.
Yes, yes. And obligation?
Obligation मतलब exclamations.
Obligation means? Okay, okay. If you are not getting, let's go through the exercise, the usage of modals, and then we'll find out the meaning of obligation also. So, modals express such ideas as ability, capacity, probability, possibility, permission, command, compulsion, duty, obligation, propriety. Some simple rules need to be remembered in order to use modals correctly. So, some simple rules need to be corrected, need to be remembered also, understood also. Tell me the meaning of probability, not in the sense of mathematics.
Possibility.
Yes, to some extent.
Yes, ma'am, somehow.
Sambhavna, okay, right, right, exactly. Can you give me an example of probability in a sentence? Not exactly. Okay, let's go through the slides and see, find out whether we'll be able to have the understanding of probability in a sentence through the usage of modals. Okay, next slide. Use of modals. Now we'll discuss in the coming slides use of modals. So they can form questions also. Can I help you? Can is a modal. Will you help me? They can make question tags also. If you have done question tags, modals help us to form question tags. Again, an expression of spoken English. You shouldn't, should not को compress कर दिया है, shouldn't worry much. Should you? He needn't come. Need he? Needn't come means he need not to come. Need he? So this way, in 8th, 9th standards or sometimes 6th, 7th standards, there is an exercise of question tags. I don't know whether you have done it or not, but it is very much in the syllabus of students. You might be busy with doing physics, chemistry, mathematics, so you might not have done this. Okay, They can combine with anti, means not, anit, to form negative. He mustn't tell lies. He must not tell lies. He daren't touch these books. Dare not. He dare not touch these books. Okay. Use of modals. There can be such usages. We'll not give you questions like this. We'll give you very simple questions. We'll give you fill up the blanks and you need to fill the modal. Right? Okay. Let's move towards the next slide. Use of modals. So power or ability. I can speak English. Again, an ability. I can do this exercise. So can is used with different moods. Seeking permission. Can I take your scooter? Give permission. You can play now. Possibility. Anybody can solve this sum. So this is a possibility. Suppose I give you an exercise and I say, yes, anybody can do this. Capacity. Your room can accommodate 5 beds. Doubt or surprise. Can you ever speak the truth? So, you cannot cram these things because again, I will keep on repeating. These are all the expressions of spoken English. The more you come across, the more you use spoken expressions, the more you feel comfortable with the usage of modals as well as other aspects also, the subject verb agreement aspect also. The more you use. Okay, next slide. Could sometimes there can be synonymous usage of modals also. They can be used in similar situations also. So don't feel confused over there, right? There can be such usages, but sometimes there are little, slight differences to be nearly appropriate, nearly correct. We'll do the slides and we'll keep discussing. It's a very simple one, but at the same time, not that simple, which you can apply very easily. So could is the past tense of can. He asked me if I could solve this sum. Now, when you do direct, indirect, when you explain some situation, some past situation to someone, then you need to be very careful that how you are using the correct usages of modals as well as tenses. So, if you say, he asked me if I can solve this sum, so your English will be incorrect because there you are to use could. Ability in the past time. She could play cricket when she was in school. You need to be particular that if you are referring to any past situation, you need to use could instead of can if you are referring to ability. Polite request. Yeah, this is very important. Could I take your bike? Now you can say, ma'am, you said it is the past tense of can, but what is the confusion? It can be used in present tense when you are making a request and instead of saying can is not that polite while you make request. Could is polite. So these are the different usages. You need to be very clear. Could is polite. Could I take your bike? If you say, can I take your bike? It shows sometimes as if you are ordering the other one person. You are not requesting. Can is not in a requesting mode. Can is a bit towards impolite. Could is polite. And at the same time, you need to be careful about your tone also. If you say, could I take your bike? No. Then if you are using could, still you are not speaking in a polite manner. There is no fun of using that word. I told you, words are non-living. You are to put life into them with your correct expressions. I hope you got this understanding, my dear students, that how you are to use
Yes,
those words.
ma'am.
Very good, very good. Because you can learn English, the content, the grammar, but until and unless you don't know how to deliver it in a humble, polite manner, in a convincing manner, there's no completion of learning English, of learning spoken English, right? There are certain rules, set rules for spoken English, And as it is my subject, I come across people speaking English, but they rarely follow those rules, right? If we get time, or maybe in next semester when you use functional English, we'll share, if I teach you, we'll share a kind of a lecture on the particular aspects or effective speaking skills. Everything is not under speaking, right? And I hope you are getting that is good. So could is used in different situations: past tense of can, ability in the past time, polite request, possibility in the past time. He could buy a new house if he had the money. So possibility in the past time. Condition, helplessness. They could not help giving money to the beggar. So it means they were helpless. They could not help themselves and they gave money to the beggar. Okay, next slide. May. So may is very simple one. In some sentences, in some expressions, it is a set rule that may is going to be used there. Let's see if there is any expression. May, possibility. He may win a scholarship. Now you can say, ma'am, you said can also expresses possibility. There lies the deeper understanding, which is the abstract understanding of a language. And that understanding can be acquired when you use English, when you read English. Yes, you can have that understanding, a bit of understanding, by attending my lecture or by discussing with me. And you need to come across people. You need to watch some English, I would say, conversations where you can see the correct usage. And it is a lifelong process. My dear students, you cannot say that we would learn these models in one day. No, keep working, keep learning. If I am saying it to you that you can acquire it after an expertise or after a regular practice, don't get disheartened. Just be confident. Yes, you are to put more efforts, but don't feel underconfident. हताश नहीं होना है, निराश नहीं होना है कि इतने सारे मैडम आस्पेक्ट्स बता रहे हैं and we are not getting anything. No, only you keep working as you do in other subjects also. So let's come back to it. May, possibility. He may win a scholarship. Permission. You may play now, right? Now, may I come in? This I feel very important. When students ask, seek permission, can you ever say to the teacher, can I come in? Though once in a while, one of the students do say. So that is not polite. And you cannot say, could I come in? Because that is incorrect English. Could is used in some other context to be polite. But may I come in, and also with a polite tone, is the correct expression to seek permission. May I come in, sir? It is not. Sometimes, I have come across my students speak in a very loud manner, and in the sense of getting loud and heard, they get rude and they are unaware of that. They are not doing it intentionally, they do it unintentionally, and they shout like that to be heard by the teacher by standing at the door, may I come in? So either if they are using very polite expression, may, they are not speaking appropriate English. You need to be very polite. May I come in? Purpose. We eat that we may live. So sometimes may expresses purpose. He works hard so that he may pass. So here is a purpose. You need to be very clear what you are going to express through a sentence so that you can use appropriate modals. Wish or prayer. Yeah. Here it is set. May you live long. We cannot say, can you live long? Could you live long? May you lead a happy life. And the sign of exclamation is there after the sentence. So it is set. May you have a wonderful life. May God bless you. It is an expression. My dear students, I repeat, I stress again and again that modals are not to be expressed a single expression. That is why it is an important part of English grammar, and yes, we can have this understanding by referring to them again and again and again. Okay? Service or help. May I give you a glass of water? Right? It is again very polite. Can, can is also, but can does not fall in that category. Okay? So don't get confused. Let's move forward.
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम
Yes,
मैम आपने कहा हेल्प और सर्विस के लिए वहां पे हम कुड भी यूज कर सकते थे लास्ट एग्जांपल
yes,
में
yes, yes, could be used कर सकते हैं.
मैम ऐसा पॉसिबल है कि एक प्लेस पे एक से ज्यादा मॉडल्स हैं
Yes, it is possible. It is
Okay.
possible. And yes, when we check your exams, we do give them correction, but it should be nearly correct that we see the possibility that we have given this, I would say, a question, and there can be a possibility of usage of two modals. Sometimes should and must, they can also be interchanged, right? So if students have written should and some of them have written must, and we see both are correct, we give them the marks, right, students? Okay, might. Past tense of may. He told me that he might help me. Past tense, you know. Remote possibility. What is the meaning of remote? Here, what is the understanding of remote possibility? Anyone, students? Here it is written in the PPT that might is a modal and the remote possibility is under usage. Means might can be used in remote possibilities. What do you understand by remote?
मैम
If-
मिस लेस पॉसिबिलिटीज
Sorry?
मतलब मैम लेस पॉसिबिलिटीज मतलब उसका कम होने का
Yes,
चांस है
yes. Who is there? कौन बोल रहा है?
मैम गौतम कुमार
गौतम बिल्कुल ठीक है बेटे. Only you need to stress because सबसे important word जो आप बोल रहे हैं that is remote means least possibility. You need to speak it very correctly. Okay, Gautam told me that least possibility. What does this mean? Anyone else? No one? I hope all of you are attending the lecture with an active mind.
यस मैम
Very good, very good. I need that, my dear students. So, remote possibility means least possibility. What is the understanding that you get out of the word least? Please do help me, students. Do participate. Tell me your name and tell me. There can be correct and incorrect answers. Don't worry about that. There's no student who can tell me the meaning of least understanding because, my dear students, right now I'm not referring to
मैम
the chat. Yes.
मैम इसका एक मतलब और परहैप्स हो सकता है मैम शायद परहैप्स
No.
माइट का मतलब परहैप्स
No. Otherwise, we would have perhaps is another form of English. It is not in modals. It is in adverbs maybe. Okay. If you are confused, I'll try. If I get the meanings of therefore, perhaps, nonetheless in Hindi, and I'll share it with you. So nobody is going to tell me the meaning of least possibility. Remote means remote area. You have done prefix, suffix.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And what is the remote means where you cannot reach easily. So
Far.
she is very weak. She might
हाँ, ठीक
pass.
है
Please
एक और रख के
switch
गए उधर
off your mic or I would mute all of you. Ganesh, let's mute all the students. Okay, I'll keep checking when I need to question you. So let me complete my PPT, then I'll see. Okay, I will check if there is any student who has said something in chat. Okay, so extreme possibility means very less possibility. Okay, she is very weak, she might pass. Remote possibility. She is very weak, means she is not that up to the mark in studies or whatever. She might pass, means there are very less chances of getting her pass. Extreme politeness. Extreme politeness. Might I get a chance to speak? If you have not used this expression, then you won't understand how might can be used under extreme politeness. So, might can also be used there. Reproach. You might have told the real reason. What does reproach mean? Means when we want somebody to tell us, right? Purpose in the past time. She worked very hard so that she might clear the test. Purpose in the past time. She worked very hard so that she might clear the test. Suggestion. You might consult a good doctor. So it might can be used in suggestion also. Let's move to the next slide. Must. Necessity or obligation. Necessity, need, obligation when you are being forced that you are to do this thing. Sometimes in order to stay healthy, we need to work out ourselves regularly, and that is a kind of obligation in order to live a life in a healthy manner. You must keep fit, otherwise you won't be able to follow your daily routine in a healthy manner. Inevitability. Inevitability means which we cannot escape from. Inevitable, from which we cannot escape from. That is, death is inevitable, means we are going to die one day. One day we must die. There's no escape. I cannot say I would live long, right? I will not die. No, it is inevitability, means we are going to have it sooner or later. One day we should die nahi hoga. We can die nahi hoga. We must die because it expresses inevitability also. Duty. We must obey the rules. Now here we can interchange. We should obey the rules, must obey the rules. There is a degree in must, should. That we should know and we would do that. Expectation or conclusion. My father must have reached Delhi now. There is an expectation also that my father must have reached Delhi now, and there is conclusion also. If you say with a particular tone, your tone sometimes also decides whether you are expressing expectation or conclusion, how you are to use it. Fixed determination. A girl must have her say in the family. Yes, fixed determination, fixed version, that it should be there. A girl must have. Must is to some extent more powerful. Okay, fixed determination. Prohibition or command. Students must not take mobiles in the class. Prohibition, when you are restricted to do something. Command, order. So both can be covered with the help of the modal must. So next one is ought to. It is the extreme aspect of should, must, obligation, moral obligation or social responsibility. You know, must and should were used in obligation and responsibility. Now the word moral obligation and social responsibility is added, and there the use of ought to is the appropriate one. We ought to respect our elders. We ought to salute our national flag. It is our moral obligation and social responsibility. And And there's no need to argue here that no ma'am, why must is not there. Must and should, they don't have that degree of compulsion as ought to has. There is a degree, you know, this degree, second degree. So degrees are there: must, should, and ought to. Ought to is the highest degree of, I would say, compulsion. Strong possibility. Our team ought to win the match. Advice: you ought to take regular exercise. Recommendation, suggestion: you ought to read, you can win. Now, whenever there is advice, recommendation, suggestion, there is a strong added with this. Ought to means a degree of must, should have been raised. Should and must, they have normal degrees. Should, I would say, at the lowest one, then must, then ought to. Yes, next slide. Will. You can say it is the future tense also, yes, but it is a kind of a modal also. To express simple future, when the subject is second or third person, you, he, she, it, they, you will die of hunger. The chief minister will lay the foundation stone tomorrow. This difference you will observe in the usage of shall and will. If you go about exact English, it is said that will is to be used with second or third person and shall is to be used with first person. Though students, persons, people do not use it, but it is the exact English. To express willingness, I will help you. Promise, I will write to you again. Threat, I will take revenge on him. It is not the usage, it is the expression also. And you can see the expressions in English dramas, English movies, with the understanding how you are to speak English. Threat is dhamki. Determination, I will do or die. Determination. तय कर लिया. Wish, I will visit the Mahalakshmi temple. This is a kind of a wish also. So let's move to the next slide. Will, there are more usages of will. A characteristic habit. A dog will usually obey his master. Sometimes we use will to express the usual characteristic habit. Assumption, he will be there by now. Assumption, we assume. Request, will you come with me? Now you can say, ma'am, can we use can instead of will? Again, there is a sense, can you come with me? That is not a kind of that polite request. Will you come with me? Again, a sense of future is there along with request. Okay. Insistence. Insistence, when you request, insisting, किसी को request से degree बढ़ा दें, that is insistence. She will not listen to the doctor's advice. Means no, she will not. She will not obey what doctor has told her. Next slide. Let's move towards the next slide. Shall. As I told you, will is used with first, third or second person, again to express simple future with I and we. Otherwise it is not incorrect, but it is the exact English and nobody, follow this. But the persons who pay attention to exact English, they keep a particular mindset to use this. We shall go for a walk, to express simple future. I shall help you. To ask for advice, suggestion, request, etc. And in bracket I have written IV in the interrogative. Shall I bring a cup of tea for you? Shall I open the window? Shall we meet tomorrow? So to ask for advice, suggestion, request, etc. in the interrogative. Interrogative means where you have questions. You must know what are interrogative sentences affirmative sentences, negative sentences. I'll see if I have a kind of slides of these sentences. I'll share. Okay, next slide. Shall. It is used with command. You shall not play here. Promise, you shall be free tomorrow. Threat, he shall be fined. You can say, ma'am, some models are used interchangeably and we are getting confused. Yes, there can be a confusion, and you know which degree you want to express, and there you can select from two models which is more appropriate. For that, you need to make the use of such things in your routine expressions. He shall be fined, you shall be dismissed. Determination, they shall defend their honor. Determination. Compulsion, you shall come to school tomorrow. You will come to school tomorrow is not that compulsion. You shall attend all the lectures. Assurance, assurance, to give a kind of proof to someone, she shall have a reward. Yes, confidence. Assurance comes with confidence. She shall have a reward. My dear students, I would repeat, as I am telling you, that with the usage of these things, you become more confident. I give you an example. One model you use regularly. May I come in? There is no confusion because you are using that expression. You are used to use that expression since your school days. So that is why that is very clear to you. And the more you use these models, they will also become clear to you. That I can assure you. You shall have a good and better understanding of these models the more you use them. Okay, let's move towards the next slide. Should. Should, duty, obligation. We should obey our elders. You should not be late. Now, it is a duty. If I say, you shall not be late, it is not that up to the mark. Appropriateness of expression is being observed with the appropriate usage of English. Otherwise, you can be fluent if you use, you shall not be late. It is all right. Nobody will bother which model you are using. But the persons who are having understanding of English, they will keep in mind that there should be used this instead of that. Possibility. You should be home now. Probable condition. If he should see me there, he will be angry. Idiomatic. Idioms से बना है ये. Idiomatic expression. I should think so. I'm quite sure of it. जिसका मतलब है I'm quite sure of it. Sometimes some expressions are conversational expressions in all the language. When we say, yes, I should also think so. It doesn't mean there is an obligation, there is possibility. It is used as an expression. So, little knowledge is a dangerous thing. You can say, ma'am told me that should can be used under duty obligation, but there are number of usages. My dear students, I repeat, no need to get confused. No need to get confused. Only we need to understand, yes, these models can be used under various similar situations, and we need to understand what that situation exactly is, and we can use it. So you are not going to face any problem. Don't get confused. A future event, the government should do something for the disabled. To express purpose after lest, in expression of fear. Lest भी एक word है, means अगर ये नहीं हुआ तो work hard lest you fail, otherwise you fail. So these kind of sentences you have done in 9th, 10th standards to express purpose after lest. Work hard lest you should fail. So should is a mild form of must and ought to. See, should is at the third degree of obligation, then must. Mild means very kind of less degree. Mild medicine means ज़्यादा severe नहीं है, right? Should जो है वो सबसे नीचे है at number third, then must, then ought to. जब आपने किसी चीज को फोर्स करना है, ड्यूटी ऑब्लिगेशन, you need to see at which degree you want to say this. If you are saying it in mild manner, mild is normal. If you want to raise the degree, then use must. If you want to raise more, then ought to. Yes, next. Would, to express wish. Would that I were a film star, to express condition. If he were shrewd, shrewd means very clever, he would resist their offer. Means he were shrewd. If they are clever enough, they must deny their offer. Resist is kind of stop. And here the meaning of resist is do not offer, do not accept. To express past habit. After lunch, he would have a short nap. Short nap means short sleep. Sleep, which we have for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, we don't call it a sleep, we call it a nap. To express willingness in the past, he said that he would help her. Would can be used in future also, in past also, and there lies the confusion of the usage of English, and there is no solution to it. It only applies the more you use it, the more you become confident of using would, should, and could. No need to get confused. It is not to be learnt in one day. It is to be learnt in everyday practice. To express willingness in the past, to express a future event, he said that she would come. To express a polite order, would you return the papers by tomorrow? So you can say, will you return the papers by tomorrow? You want to make a request and you want to be polite. And that request is for future. And if you say, could you return the papers by tomorrow? So could is a kind of possibility also, and it is sometimes past tense and it is not appropriate. So here would, because would can also serve that purpose. Would you return the papers by tomorrow? So we are to use it to express determination. He would have his own way. Now you need to speak whatever expression you want to express. If you are making a request, you need to be polite. Would you return the papers by tomorrow? And if you are expressing determination, means your firmness, dridata, he would have his own way. There you need to stress. If you say he would have his own way, then it is not a determination. It is a simple kind of speaking. And those who speak like this without having the expressions, they are not effective speakers. Yes, next slide. Modal, used to. So it is a very simple one. It expresses what was repeatedly seen or done during a period of time in the past. Now used to is clear that it is to be used in past situation. She used to wear jeans before marriage. People used to think that the earth was flat. Now, one is set rule of used is to express the habits or some are mindsets in the past. And next usage of used to is it means accustomed to. Accustomed to का मतलब है इंग्लिश में used to and हिंदी में अगर बताना means आदत है means students are used to attend less lectures or students are used to get confused, get panic when examination comes. Means accustomed means आदत to some extent habit बन जाती है. You are not used to hard manual labor. You are not used to hard manual labor means you are not in the habit of working physically hard or working with physical labor. I am not used to being spoken to in that way. Means I am not used to. I don't tolerate people speak to me in that manner. As I have told you, whatever I am not used to, particular behaviors of students, I expect discipline, I expect regular participation and regular attendance in the classes. So these are what I am used to. Next is need. What does need mean? Absence of necessity or compulsion in the negative or interrogative. So, uh, for this usage, you need to be a bit expert in the usage of spoken English. You need not pay the bill. Need I speak to him? Means necessity. Need I speak to him? Is there any need to talk to him? You need not pay the bill. Again, necessity is there under compulsion. You are not required to pay the bill. This way, we need to understand, and I would say you will have the understanding of this if you practice. Let's move to the next slide. Maybe it is finished. Dare. Dare also comes in the category of modals. Dare means to have courage. It is used in negative and interrogative. I dare not do to my father. Means I warn you not to do this to my father. Dare we interrupt them? Dare we interrupt them? Can we? When you raise the standard of can, it means dare. Means negative है, interrogative है, and to have courage. Can we dare to interrupt them? No, we can't. How dare you talk like this? Now, this is an expression, and sometimes this is extremely impolite. You know, this is a very common expression students use. When we understand less English, we acquire such expressions. How dare you to talk like this to me? And the other person feels as if he has been shown a weak person as compared to the person who said this. So there can be misunderstandings, there can be height of misunderstanding. You need to be very careful in the usage of such expressions. Don't you dare to do this to me. You know, we learn less English and we speak it without using our minds. There can be negative consequences of incorrect usage of English expressions. Have to, in the sense of must. So have to can be used in the sense of must. Yes. Sorry, I have to go now. Means I must go now. Means I have to go now. When it is an obligation, it is a compulsion to me that I cannot help, but I have to go now. You give advice or recommend something. You simply have to have a break. Instead of saying you must have a break, have to is a mild form of must, I would say. You should have a break. Must is used to talk about what the speaker wants to, and have got to is used to talk about rules, laws, and other people's wishes. Fine. Let's move towards the next slide if there is any. Let's practice some sentences. Okay. Okay, let's see. Can you do these sentences?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do it and then tell me the answer. You can drop your answers in a chat box. I'll see. Anybody dash solve this sum?
Can.
Can. Yes, can is the correct one. Right, right. You write down the answer in your notebooks and you can refer to it whether you are right or wrong, because right now I cannot see all of you doing this. So write it down and you can answer it back to me. If I were you, I dash say sorry. This is an expression in the past and you need to be very clear which is to be used. It is very simple.
Would, ma'am.
Sorry?
Would, ma'am.
Would.
Put more stress on your understanding. If
I would say.
yes,
I would say sorry.
I would expect would as the correct one. If I were you, I would say sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you dash control your anger.
Will, ma'am. You should
What
control
does,
on your anger.
wait. What does this answer, this sentence express?
Possibility.
No,
Duty.
No, ma'am.
it is not a possibility.
Ma'am, request.
No, it is not a request.
Or
Suggestion, ma'am.
Necessity.
Suggestion.
It is a necessity, and sometimes it is an order also. It is a
Yes.
compulsion also.
Ma'am, it may be also suggestion, ma'am. You should control on your anger.
Yes, it may be a suggestion, but suggestion is to be stressed on. So, which modal will you use?
Must.
You should control your anger.
Now,
You
should
must
is also
control your
correct.
anger.
You must
Should.
give.
You must control your anger.
Exactly. I will accept 3. Should, must, ought to. Now, it is the situation in which degree you have expressed your anger and the other person is advising you, suggesting you, or giving an order to you. Is it? So, you must control your anger. It's correct. You should control your anger. It is also correct. And when the degree has been raised, you ought to control your anger. I hope it is understood to all of you. Okay, next, dash, you repeat that, please.
could.
Can,
Would you
will,
would you repeat? Would you repeat?
I would say the
can,
exact,
will.
yes, it's all right. Could is the right answer because I have used it, please. So could is always more polite. Could you repeat that, please? And you need to speak like this. Students, I will stress again and again, if you are using the correct modal, but you are not putting that expression in your tone, there is no use of being polite. So I would expect you keep working on your tone, on your clarity also. Well done, students. Let's move forward. She dash not stay out late. You need to understand the expression in the sentence and then put the modal into it. She dash not stay out late.
She should not stay out late.
Well done. Well done. Yes. She should not stay out late. Dash. Next one. We dash stop when the lights are red. Now see the highest degree of compulsion following the rules. We dash stop.
Must.
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 And I would say
Also.
Ma'am,
ought
have to. We
Uh,
have to stop.
we have to. Do we
Ought
stop?
to.
If I say we have to, does that degree is expected? Which
No, ma'am.
degree is expected to follow this rule? The highest one, I would say. Otherwise, must is okay. If
Ought
we
to.
ought to, we ought to stop
We ought
when
to
the lights
stop.
are red. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Means इसके बिना गुजारा ही नहीं है. But हम क्या करते हैं? हम चलते जाते हैं. So the degree is at the highest one, then ought to. Otherwise, students, if you write must, should, we will accept that. But you should understand the deeper expression level of a language. This is my aim. I am not aiming only at examination. You will all do well in examination. That to some extent I'm sure about. Okay, but you should also acquire the exact usage of English in day-to-day life. And it is not that you need to learn English in one go. Start speaking it and you would learn it. Just be confident, right? Okay, next sentence. I dash go on holiday to Australia next year.
I will go on holiday to Australia next year.
If I talk about one rule, if you can remember that rule, I told you will is to be used with which person? First and second, or second or third?
Second or third.
Ma'am,
Yes.
second or third.
Well done, wonderful. And which is to be used with I?
I shall go.
Very good. I shall go on holiday. Otherwise, will is not incorrect. But my dear student, we should know this. I shall go on holiday to Australia next year. It is more appropriate, more exact. And I am happy you have retained that rule. Try to retain that rule. Wonderful students. The cancer patient dash recover. Now here is the remote possibility. So which modal is to be used in remote
Might.
work?
Might.
Very good,
Might.
very good, very good.
Might.
Very good, students. The cancer patient might recover. You know, this is the way to attempt the answers. This is the way to understand the usage of modals, what you want to express, which mood is to be expressed with the help of modals. And I'm very happy you have remembered whatever we have discussed through the PPT. Wonderful. When I was younger, I dash run faster. Now, it is a kind of a habit that I had in my childhood days.
Used to.
Very good. Yes. When I was younger, I used to run faster. Well done. We dash help the poor.
Must. Should.
We
Should.
must, should, both are correct. Wonderful. Wonderful, students. Well done. And I'll prepare a kind of a test on Google form with 20, I would say, sentences. And I'll give you in 2-3 days or maybe on Sunday.
So students, it was all about the topic of modals. I hope you have understood the intricacies, how modals are to be placed in a sentence. We'll discuss another topic in next video. Thank you very much.